Good afternoon, welcome back for our second installment here. So our first video was basically an introduction of the Misfit cast of characters we have here. Now I'm kind of thinking like we'll branch out like in a circle. So like the characters, us, me, my husband and Pops, me dog, are like the center, the nucleus, and then like the shit goes around us, right? So we'll branch out in like cyclical ways, right? So we'll start with the nucleus there, us folks that are going to create this show, and then we'll do a small circle of like just the site, and then I'll branch out and bring you like to give you the lay of the land little by little. Like we'll just circle out. So today, now, whatever, it's the same day. But because I'm making really short videos, I'm trying to get a few in just to lay out like the basics so people know who we are and what we're doing. So you met us. Again, I'm Nellie, and Miss Pops is here. Okay, so how our site works is it's actually really cool. We had a kind of a lot of choices of where we wanted to pitch our spot when we got up here. As you can see, it's kind of so let's see here. It's sparsely wooded. It's clearly like a younger forested area. It's adjacent to a very large cemetery, and I'm under the belief that this area was probably grass not that long ago, as part of like the front of the cemetery, because it's part of their property. And these trees are very young. So there's a lot of open like light, but we have enough shade. We picked a really shady spot, so our area is shaded. Plus we have the tarp here. See the camo tarp as a barrier, because I don't know if you can see right now this far away. It's really not far, but like it might seem far on my less leaves much to be desired camera. But there's a cemetery right there, like I can see it, and that is like the most open spot. So I blocked that off because when I first was staying here, I didn't know that I had something that I'll tell you about later for showering and stuff. So I was showering out here, just like you know, pouring water on myself and stuff, and I wanted to be blocked from the view of the street. Plus I wanted that open spot to be blocked, so at nighttime when I have my citronella candle lit or my lantern on, it's not like glaring light. So I don't know if you can tell here, but how we set this up is there's like one way to get into the main circle of the campsite. Just one path. The rest of it, all around, it was already naturally occurring, this natural barrier in this naturally occurring circle of brambles and branches, which I'm going to artificially increase in solidity and sturdiness. But it surrounds us on all sides, except for that one little path that is the entrance to the main center of the camping site. So what's cool about that, because right now it's just Poppy and I staying out here at night by ourselves, nobody can get in unless they come through that one path. Otherwise they're going to walk right into the brambles, or they're going to walk right into the tarp. If they make it that far before Poppy like flips and goes house on them. She won't bite them, but she'll tell me they're here. If she has to bite them, she will, but she won't unless they hurt me or try to hurt me. So we have that one entrance. The rest is, like I said, it's surrounded by a naturally formed cyclical thing of brambles and branches. Awesome, right? So then, this was temporary. The spot was originally planned as a temporary spot. Like I said, my husband's in a program right now, so I needed a spot to be able to come and stay. So I set it up just as a temporary thing. We thought we were gonna have a housing situation by now, but we don't. So it's come to, we've come to the understanding, the acceptance that this might be a little longer term than we had expected. So we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna just live it up, make the best out of it. We've done it before, do it again, and we're gonna live it up and make it epic. So we started out with this relatively inexpensive tent. I've never even heard of this brand. It's like called Quest. I got it at Dick's Sporting Goods on sale. It was like $35. I think it's like it's advertised as like a 4-man tent, but like I would not want to sleep in here with 4 people. You'd be like sardines. We have 2 people who sleep in it and a dog. During the day, sometimes we're both in there, and then at night it's just the dog and I. We have a twin size air mattress in there. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it's really visible. I'll have to show you more another time, because my husband's in there, and he's not going to introduce himself until his program is over. There's reasons. Tease, suspense, you'll find out why. Oh no, maybe we are deviant all after all. What? I'm just being silly. I'm saying they're gonna have to wait to find out why they can't meet you yet. It's worth the wait, trust me. If you think I'm a character, he's even more interesting than me. And together we're like definitely like entertaining at the very least. So yeah, so basically, since we decided that this might have to be a little bit more long term, I decided to make it a little bit more permanent and more comfortable. So I don't know if I had mentioned already, this is not the first time that we've had this set up. We've had it set up outside. So we've accumulated a lot of things over the years. I don't expect that everybody has this stuff right away. We didn't. We got some of it as gifts. Some of it my mom came and dumped off at a site we were at one year because she didn't want us to come to the house. So she bought us like all this crazy camping gear and just came and dumped it at our site in Boston. It was insane. We were living in like a lean-to on pallets with a tarp. And then she like brought us all this gear, and like we still have most of it. And it's been like irreplaceable. It's been great. Like now that we have it, it's like thinking about doing this without it. It's like, what were we doing? But it's not like we could have gone out and bought it, you know. We've bought a few things, you know, over the years here and there that we've saved and we use still. I didn't bring everything. I didn't bring all of our stuff. I'm slowly bringing stuff. This was like my first trip where I brought things of a more permanent nature. So up till now, we weren't cooking up here. We were just like I meant. I mean, it's urban camping. Like we're right in the middle of a major area, a major like commercial area. So there's all kinds of fast food. There's a supermarket. There's regular, you know, subs and all that stuff that they have and like regular. So we've been eating out, and like that's just not financially. What's the word? Yeah, it's not fun to listen to someone who can't like think of the words, right? I have like total brain damage. It's not responsible. It's not financially responsible. So I brought the stove so we can go to the supermarket and we can buy food. That makes more sense. But they were sold out of propane in New Hampshire. I guess like everyone in the world is going camping for some reason. So hopefully we can get some down here, because the one that I did find at some weird little privately owned place isn't compatible with our stove. But our stove is this. A lot of our gear is Coleman, which, I mean, I've always just like used my gear and never researched it much, but I'm going to start researching some equipment, some camping equipment, so that I can do like product, you know, reviews and know more about what I'm using. But yeah, it is a Coleman. It's this, it's just a 1 burner. It takes a small propane canister But it boils your water like boom, like that, right? So I brought that, which is gonna make life like way better. Some of this is old stuff that we had. These cups are a must-have for anyone that's transient, living outside. They flatten down to this little disc, and then they pop open to these cool cups. And they can take hot, cold. You can't heat them up on the fire, but you can put hot liquid in them. We drink our coffee, cocoa, tea, all kinds of stuff in them, oatmeal, whatever. So we have a bunch of those because they're just great. Then we had some of our old plates from back in the day, but then I bought another set because I couldn't find the spoons and stuff. So this is also, I believe this was also Coleman. Got it at Walmart. I think it was like $13. 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 knives. Perfect, right? So we got that. We get the stove. Grabbed these at Walmart. They're just like baking tins that I figured I could throw on the stove and heat stuff up on for right now. Like I said, I go back and forth. I store everything that I've owned my entire life in my mother's basement. I have for many years. But it's a mess, okay? It's not like a finished basement. It's just like a disaster. So it's hard to find stuff because I'm not there often, and then things get moved around. So couldn't find quite all of our stuff. So I had to just work with what I could find quickly. So I got those to cook on just as like, a quick fix. But I did find one of our pots. It's a small camping pot. I think it's also Coleman because they all come in these mesh baggies. It's just a little pot to boil water and things like that, so you can make coffee in the morning instead of having to buy it. I know it's only like $2, but like $2 is $2. It adds up, right? So right now we have a really like simple, basic setup, but I have a thing, a little quirk, I guess, that I like to personalize my spaces, even outdoors, especially outdoors. It like, I don't know, it just like zaps my heart. It makes me happy, lights my soul on fire to like spice it up, right? And I think that is what, when I was listening to advice on starting this channel, it said like, find something popular that other people are doing, but then make it your own, make it different. Well, I definitely can promise you that we are very different from like most people. There's definitely people out there like that are like just like us that we jive with, but it's few and far between. In my 40, I always forget how old I am. 1979, 42, 43, can't do the math. But in my let's say 45 years on this planet, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting too many folks who are on the same page. So we have like a different point of view than a lot of people, and maybe we can find some like-minded people out there, some like-minded souls that we can learn from, and we can explore different, possibilities together about what we can do to make urban camping more acceptable as an alternative to not being able to afford regular housing, and or not wanting to pay an exorbitant amount, be extorted almost, to live in a dilapidated, rat-infested apartment only to be, kicked out on a whim. Maybe we don't want to accept that. Maybe we don't want to accept the status quo, and maybe we can all, start a serious like movement. There's a housing crisis right now. There's a unprecedented amount of homeless, and we need to do something about it. We need alternatives. Like we need different solutions for different people, different desires. Not everybody wants to live the same. Not some people want to live in a treehouse. Some people want to live underground. Some people, if you work hard and you're willing to do what needs to be done to get somewhere, you should be able to do it. But it seems like, you know, people say like, oh, just work hard and anyone can achieve the American dream. That's not true. That's not true. You can work 60 hours a week, but if you're working at Burger King, where my husband works, you can't afford anything. They pay minimum wage. Minimum wage is not livable wage. So I think this is a viable alternative, you know, and it shouldn't be illegal, and there should be like etiquette people follow, you know, pick up your trash, don't take a big dump and leave it. But anyways, I'm hoping that we can appeal to people who want to explore these same topics and, like, you know, band together and put something different out there. You know, get something different out there. There's lots of us out there. We just don't know where all of us are. And if we can connect, then maybe we can make some kind of an impact and make some changes for the better. Make it so that, you know, everybody has opportunities, not just people. I don't know. I don't want to sound like, you know, ungrateful or bitter or anything like that, because I love my life. But I see a lot of suffering in this world, and it makes me sad. And I see a lot of people in pain, and I see a lot of people just dying faster than they're living. And they never really lived. And it's like, it's so sad, because, like, I feel very privileged in that I've had a lot of experiences and I've had a lot of great times. If I died today, I mean, I've experienced and I've had more than most. I've had somebody love me more than you can ever hope to be loved by somebody, and that's not something that everybody gets. And thank God I have that. And like I said, if I died tomorrow, I'd be okay. But there's lots of people out there that I feel like never even got to live, and that's just sad. And shouldn't be that way, you know. More people should be able to experience the feeling of being, like, fully alive. So those are some of the basics. I brought the stove, cooking utensils. Since the beginning, I've had, well, not the beginning, a couple weeks ago, my husband was like, get that citronella candle. That makes sense. And I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, I got it. It was freaking awesome. It keeps the mosquitoes away. I like the little flickering light. It's a nice ambiance at night. And I hate mosquitoes. Like, I hate them. I hate them, especially when they bite my toes and fingers. That's, like, the worst. So I feel like I brought so much, and then when I look at it, it's like not that much. But I don't know. So this is a must-have everywhere I go. I'll take it with me when I leave. I'll bring it back when I come back. Always have Sharpies. Always. Duct tape, obviously. I have like 4 rolls in here. I'm not even gonna dig them out. Like, duh. You know, everyone has to have duct tape at all times. Especially in this situation. It's indispensable. Duct tape, Sharpies. Next is like my secret magic awesomeness, which everyone probably knows about now. But this is the shit, okay? Flex Seal, guys. Flex Seal, right, baby? Flex Seal. Comes in clear, comes in black, comes in paint, comes in spray, comes in tape. The stuff is awesome. So, like, for instance, one of the first weeks I was here, I'm like, oh, she didn't eat all her food. I'm going to leave the dog food in the tent, but I'll wrap it up in tons of plastic. Well, they ate through the tent. See? Big hole, ate all the dog food, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do, you know, we quick fixed it with some duct tape. I'll re-duct tape it, Flex Seal it on both sides. Be like new. Probably better. Flex Seal, must have. Sharpies, duct tape, twine, rope, zip ties. Always have that. Let's see. Oh, this is something that's worth investing in. This is something we got as a gift. We have 2 of them, and they're great. They're waterproof bags. They totally work. They've worked for years. Great to have. Needs batteries, but I love headlamps. Especially in the winter. I spend a lot of my time reading. Especially if it's really cold, and really the only comfortable place is under the blankets next to the person you love keeping you warm. So then I just read. I read for like 12, 13 hours straight. So headlamps are a must-have. Towels, I always have towels. I leave my towels and my clothes in my bag because I put my duffel behind the pillows as like a headrest, like the back of a bed, sort of, so you can sit up a little bit. And what I've been using lately is this soft-sided duffel from LL Bean. It's awesome. It has wheels. So, because when I come here, I don't drive. So, my husband does. He has a scooter, but it's like it's not always like he's at work a lot, so he couldn't like come get it today. So I walk like about 1.5 miles, maybe a little bit over that, to get from the train station to this spot. So that's great because it wheels, but it's new. I have another bag that I'll show you guys. That's been like my go-to, like Old Faithful. I call it my homeless pack, and I'll introduce you to it another time. But this is my new one, and I have a thing I do with everything that we'll go into more detail another time. But I think that everyone should personalize their bags, because otherwise I'd have the same bag as like, I don't know, 20,000 other people or more. I don't know. And I don't want to. I don't want to have the same bag. That way nobody can steal my bag, because they'd have to move to like Minnesota. Obviously that would be my bag as soon as I see it. Homeless community, urban camping community, people at the shelter. It's a small world, you know. You're ultimately going to probably run into the person unless they end up dying. So I always personalize things the best I can. I even start to personalize my tents. Been kind of a slacker though, and I've been back and forth a lot, so I've got a bare minimum done. I just goofed around. But the tent, I don't know if you can see it, it's christened the Love Shack. The Love Shack, right? To represent our love. Whatever, you should be happy. I just told him that I would be okay dying today because I was lucky enough to have someone love me more than you could ever wish to be loved. And you know that's true. Right? I love you. Anonymous husband. Ooh. Wait till you meet him. He's a character. I can't wait till he can stay here with me at night though, because you know it's all right. I don't mind it too much having the dog, at least, but you know, if something ever did happen, like, I don't know, it'd just be easier to have him fight the person first. I mean, I don't know. I'm always up for like a good throwdown, but I really don't want to get beat to smithereens by like some big, large man all by myself in the middle of the woods. Again. So luckily he'll be here in just a couple weeks, and that's great. I can't wait for that. So Flex Seal, stove, dishes, utensils, waterproof bag, headlamp, citronella candles. Obviously most people can't, like, especially if you're trying to save money, or if you have no money, if you really are like direly homeless, have no choice, like, you're not gonna be able to go out and buy all this stuff. But we didn't have all this stuff at first. Like, for a long time, we had to just deal with what we had. And like, we didn't have a stove. We went to the dollar store and bought those containers of Sterno. Like, they worked, you know. But we also have this lantern, which comes in handy, especially at night. I like to read. Let's see what else. Oh, I have this extra tent. Tell you guys all about that another time. That's a whole nother post. Okay, so what's left in this bag here? Pretty much just clothes, towels. Always have towels. Now, even though it's August, I always bring a warm hat, sweatshirt, sweatpants, extra, just extra layers, because sometimes it does get cold at night, even in August. I got this cool little like camping shovel, just because who doesn't want to have a little camping shovel sometimes? You never know when you're gonna need that. So that's everything that's in the bag. So at this point I put the bag behind the pillows so that it gives you kind of a little like brace behind you. Let's see, what else? I always bring a rain jacket. I always have my rain jacket, especially this summer. It's rained quite a bit. Actually, the room I stay in, the basement I stay in, flooded. Raw sewage came up out of the basement sink from the bottom, and it like tore through the room and demolished a bunch of things I saved down there since I was like 10. But whatever, right? Alright, so let's see. I always bring like Tums. This is something different. It's a secret for a project we're doing later. Let's see. Paper towels, napkins, toilet paper. Right now I have my TP in a Dewar's like tin. Can I see that, babe? The golden tin. I just had this laying around basement. Perfect for TP. Keep it nice and dry. Paper towels, because I think it's really important to keep your space clean. The outside and the inside. It's just, for one, if somebody does show up, police or civilians or anyone, you don't look like a schmuck that's like getting high. Like, it's important not to have any weird paraphernalia, trash, poop, food. Like, you just don't want that. You want to try to keep it tidy, because if somebody does come, you don't look like a total doofus that has no regard for like decency. So I like sweep off the mattress, blow it up, shake out the blankets, sweep the floor, pick it up, maybe not every day, but frequently. Then I rake around the tent area. I have a little like piece of carpet in front of the doorway. I don't know if you can see it. Just to like wipe your feet on as you're going in the tent. I sweep that off, like it's my front stoop. The tent is just, it's open right now because it sat under the tarps for a few days while I was gone, and I wanted it to air out, but I'm gonna have to throw the tarps back on. I have 2 tarps that I put over it when I'm not here or when it rains. Top one's brown. Try to camo it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like super important, because I want to end this video before it like cuts me off and I don't know how to fix it, because I haven't really learned that much yet. I just want to get some content out there first. I always bring extra chargers. I have a bunch of flashlights. I have the headlamp. I have 3 flashlights. I always have rope, twine, scissors. Babe? I think it just needs batteries. I hope. Alright, I'm going to end this video.